Okay, welcome back to the channel. So I wasn't even sure if I was going to do a video this week. I didn't really get anything done on the shovel, and I'll tell you why. We'll go over a few things that happened. It came from, parts that didn't arrive on time to parts that were supposed to fit that didn't fit, and I had to deal with the manufacturer of a problem, not the problem itself with the item, but just fitting the problem in there. So it's probably going to be another week before this is finished. I really was hoping to wrap this bike up by this week and getting it started, and then talking about what's coming up for this winter. So let's go over the shovel and I'll show you a couple issues. Actually, let me show you one issue first. So one issue I had was I couldn't find the right crush washer for the transmission drain plug. So I went to a local shop. They gave me one. I think it's around here somewhere. I don't know what it is. Anyway, it didn't fit. It was too small. So I ordered one from JP Cycles. Let me look at it. I got to take my glasses up to see this. So it says reproduction of drain plug and brass gasket used on HL transmotors, case, oil tanks, and big twin 37 to 86 transmissions. It says a 1/2 inch by 13 thread. So this is the drain plug that they're claiming will fit on the 76, when in fact the 76 takes a 5/16 by 32. So this didn't fit. This was actually the size washer that the shop gave me, was probably about that size. So I did, keep the original plug, and I ended up, buying a kit of crush washers on Amazon. I think this was like $6. So I did find one size out of this that fit. So I've got that in there now, and I only put like 8 ounces of gear oil in, because if it was going to leak, I didn't want to have to take the plug out again. So it hasn't leaked so far. I put it in about 4 or 5 hours ago. I haven't seen any drips on it, so I'm assuming that crush washer worked. I sealed it with a little bit of gray gasket material too, just a light coating on the crush washer. So hopefully will fix that. So let's take a look at a couple of the parts that came in. Okay, so we did get the Dynatech 2000 in. Now you have to take out the weights and everything, and it rides on this cup. This is actually the same type of cup anyway that's in that 98 Evo over there. So you need this cup because this thing, let me see if I can spin this around with one hand. This thing spins in here, and as it hits these blank pieces, it fires the spark plug. So it fits in the same thing. It's got that little notch, right here like the weights do. But this one did not come with a bolt. And I believe this is a 1032 by 3/4. So I couldn't, and it has to be, I don't know if it has to be flange. It said it's supposed to be a flanged hex bolt. I couldn't find one anywhere. I ended up finding one on eBay for like $5. They're shipping it free. Not going to be here for another 4 or 5 days. So I can't even do the Dynatech for another 4 or 5 days. Another issue I ran into, let me grab something else, is this wire and the wire loom. There is no way that the hole that's in this case that's designed for this wire right here with the covering, is going to fit these 5 wires in with that case. There's just no way. You can barely fit these 5 wires in. You're not going to fit the sheathing in it that comes. So I called Dynatech. I spent some time trying to get a hold of them, having somebody call me back. And my main concern was, because I've seen people cut the wires really close to the unit here. So my main concern to them was, well, if I cut these wires, it's going to void the warranty. And he goes, well, it won't void the warranty, but we won't give you a refund. We'll give you an exchange if there's a problem with it. I says, well, I'm not really looking for a refund. If there's a problem with this right out of the box, I would want an exchange anyway. So he said, yeah, that he didn't see a problem with that. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, I don't have anything in writing from these people. So what I did was I just drilled out to 5/16. You can see the hole in here. So I don't know how good you can see it, but I drilled it out to 5/16, fit it in. I did end up cutting about 1 foot. Actually, these are the wires that came off the end, because I'm not going to wrap 1 foot of extra wire around the seat post up there. So we got the relief valve, the crush washer, and the new cap for that. I put a new spring in the check ball and reseated the check ball. I I seated the one that was in there, took that out and put a brand new check ball in. So that's all set over here. I'm trying to think what else. I think that was all that got done on the bike. Let's move over here. I did wire the Dynatech in. You can see I cut the wires up here. There's still 3 wires in here. There's actually 5 in this loom. I only used 2 out of the 5 just for the coil, because the other one is for attack. The other one is for single fire. This is a dual fire coil. Single fire, one goes to attack, and I forget where the other one goes to. It goes somewhere else. But anyway, you don't use those 3 wires when you're using a dual fire coil with no tack. So okay, so one other thing that I have to do is I got to take the bag off, because I have to take the rear brake line off, because I did find out where this clamp goes, because I looked in a prior video. This line here goes on the outside, and this clamp here screws right into there. I think it hangs down. I have to relook at it, but I think it hangs down and it screws into there. So this actually has to go on the outside of the swing arm, not on the inside. So so I think that's pretty much it. I tried fitting the cover on here to cover this up. For some reason it wants to hit against here, so I'm not sure if there's supposed to be a piece of rubber on the inside of that chrome cover that goes here. I don't know. I'll have to fool. It's not really something that's really critical right now, but yeah, I'm not seeing any oil. Let me see if there's any kind of a drip underneath there while I'm here. Yeah, if you look at the, let me see if I can see it. So if you look right here, that's the drain plug. There's no drip on it. There's nothing. So it's been like that all afternoon. So I'm assuming that that crush washer was good. It worked. So now we have to see, another thing that I can't figure out what's going on with this bike is that I've looked at some other videos, and these pipes pretty much come right even with the back of the bags. I don't know why they're so far out. Even if I move this up, the other one is not gonna, the other one is up as far as it can go. So whether they were never even, I don't know. I'd have to really look at try to find an older video to see about that working. So okay, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Again, I didn't want to make this video too long, but every time I say that, it seems like it's 10 or 12 minutes. Next week's video is probably going to be double in length. I really want to finish this shovel up next week and be done with the videos on the shovel. My only goal is to get the bike started. I'm not going to worry about whether I'm going to take it out and run it. I'll do that in a later video. But I am going to end the series on when we get the bike started, get it timed, and it running, and then that's probably going to be the end of the series on the restoration of the 76 shovel. I'll make some videos later on in the fall about taking it out for a ride and everything, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what's going to go on in the channel this winter besides working on these bikes. If I don't find another one, it's going to be kind of how the channel is going to be run going forward. So anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate all the new subscribers I got and all the existing subscribers from taking time out of your day to check out my videos. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.